Imagine you start a small business. You and a few hundred friends pool your money, get a license, and start selling pepper, nutmeg, and cloves. Fast forward 200 years. That same spice shop now commands a private standing army of 260,000 soldiers. This single entity controlled the lives of 200 million people and overthrew a dozen governments. All of this was done to ensure the quarterly dividends for shareholders in London remained high. The East India Company provides a rare look at how a business model behaves when it is permitted to scale without a single regulatory or moral limit. In the year 1600, the barrier to entry for the Asian spice trade was impossibly high. Portugal and the Netherlands already controlled the routes, meaning any English merchant who wanted to compete needed a fleet, an army, and a massive amount of capital. To solve this, the merchants pioneered the joint stock company. By pooling capital from hundreds of investors, they could spread the staggering risks of a 3-year sea voyage across a broad base of shareholders. In December 1600, Queen Elizabeth I granted this group an exclusive monopoly to trade in the East Indies. The charter didn't just grant trading rights, it gave the company the legal power to build forts, coin its own currency, and wage autonomous war to protect its investments. By embedding military permissions directly into a commercial license, the government created a weapon that answered only to its investors. The company's growth strategy bypassed normal market competition. Instead of offering lower prices, they built fortified trading posts and staffed them with private soldiers to physically lock out their rivals. This was a literal version of what we now call a moat. They protected their market share with cannons and infantry rather than just better products. This reached a turning point in 1757 at the Battle of Plassey. Robert Clive, a company clerk, used the private army to defeat the ruler of Bengal in a single afternoon. With this victory, the company transitioned from a merchant trading in Bengal to the sovereign power that owned and taxed it. The company chose conquest because taxing an entire population yielded far better profit margins than simply trading with them. By 1770, the corporate ledger had detached completely from human reality. A severe drought hit Bengal and the crops failed. In a normal society, a government redistributes food to prevent starvation, but the company was legally bound to prioritize the returns of its shareholders in London. As Bengal's agricultural output crashed, the company's tax collection remained flat. In some regions, they increased quotas to offset financial losses. 10 million people died of starvation. They were the externalized cost of a system demanding revenue optimization as the tax base died. This catastrophe followed the internal logic of a corporate structure designed to prioritize distant financial returns over local human life. Running a continental military occupation turned out to be far more expensive than managing a spice supply chain. During a global credit crisis in 1772, the overextended company ran out of operating capital and faced total insolvency. The British government stepped in with a bailout. They passed the Tea Act of 1773, which granted the company a direct monopoly in the American colonies to save their cash flow. This legislative favor triggered the Boston Tea Party, reframing the American Revolution as a direct protest against a state-subsidized corporate monopoly. The corporation had become structurally vital to the state. By 1773, they had successfully offloaded their private risks onto the government, forcing the public to guarantee their survival. The company's formal end came in 1858, when the British Crown dissolved it, following a massive mutiny by its own soldiers. While the East India Company is gone, the structural architecture it pioneered, the joint stock model and absolute shareholder primacy, remains the standard for large-scale commerce today. The company proved that a corporate structure, if granted sovereign power and left unchecked, will prioritize the demands of its ledger over the lives of those it governs. We are still living with the consequences of that design.